Hey everybody, welcome to Story Time with PJ. But as you can tell, it's not PJ, it's TJ, Teacher Joanna. So we are going to read a story that I read as a kid. This book is old because I'm almost 40, so it's really old. It's like 30 years old or older. Anyway, it's a really, really cool story. It's called Rascal's Close Call, and it's all about how important it is to obey your parents. It even says in the back of the book here that in Ephesians 6:1, it says, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right." So we're going to learn a story about Rascal, who doesn't listen to his parents and gets in a lot of danger because of it. So here we go. And this story is written in a big combination of books, and it's from the Critter County books. So these are really cool, and it's by Paula Bussard. Cool. Here we go. It was Sunday evening in the Critter County nursery. In Critter County, when a mommy and daddy animal have babies, the whole family moves into the nursery until the babies learn to obey their parents. Every day, the children eat, play, and have chores to do. And every day but Saturday, that is, Saturdays are special. On that day, the whole family plays together. That would be fun. They take walks, play games with other families, and they have picnics. Then, when Saturday night comes, all the parents put the children to bed, and Grandmother Mouse comes over to watch the children. This Saturday night was like every other Saturday night. The parents tucked their little ones into bed. Bobby and Brenda Bear put their little bear in bed early, and Daffodil gave her new daughter Daisy an extra big bottle of warm milk. Freddie the Frog and his wife Florence gave little Frederick his favorite pacifier. It was time for all the Critter County babies to go to bed. Sydney turned out the lights. "Good night to you all, little sweeties. Now remember, no talking or getting out of bed is allowed. We love you. Sleep tight," said Sydney. That's Sydney. Several of the parents climbed into Sydney's car, and the rest climbed into the Critter County van, and off they went. After Grandmother Mouse thought all the babies were sound asleep, she sat in her padded rocker. She yawned. Humming all those skits for the Mouseketeers made me very tired. In fact, I'm not sure I can stay. With that, she fell sound asleep and began to snore. The parents were hardly out of sight when Rascal the raccoon began to climb out of his bed. Frederick warned, "You had better stay in bed, or you will get into big trouble, Rascal. Remember Ephesians 6:1. It says, 'Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right.' And Sydney told us to stay in bed. You'd better obey." "Nah, they won't catch me," snickered Rascal. "I want to have some fun." So Rascal climbed out of his bed and went over to the bed where Calvin the calf was trying to go to sleep. "Come on, Calvin, get up," begged Rascal. Move on. I want to obey my parents and Sydney. Just move on," said the smart little calf. "Okay for you," said Rascal. "I know Lacey the lamb will play with me." But before Rascal even got to Lacey's crib, the little lamb sat right up in bed. Bad boy, bad boy, you are gonna need more than that little mask to hide behind when your daddy comes home. Bad, said Lacey. You have no sense of adventure, Rascal told the obedient little lamb. I'm going to go down to the hive. I know I can count on baby bees to fix me a honey sandwich. Hey guys, come on out and let's fix something to eat, Rascal said when he got to the hive. Just then, 2 little bees looked up from their honeycomb beds. Behave, Rascal. Just behave, they said together. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go outside and play by myself. See you later, said Rascal, and he left. Uh-oh. He walked out into the dark night. The trees looked like they almost touched the stars. Rascal wandered through the woods for almost an hour. Well, I'm not having much fun here. I think I'm going to go back to the nursery before Mom and Dad come home, he said. He started to go back, but it didn't take him long to realize he was lost. Really, really lost. The poor little raccoon started to cry. I never should have disobeyed my dad. I probably will never see him again. He cried till his little heart almost broke. After a long time of walking, Rascal finally got very sleepy and decided to lie down. He found some leaves and made a pillow on a wooden bed. What Rascal didn't know was that he was falling asleep in the middle of the railroad tracks, and off in the distance, trouble was coming. Choo, choo, choo. The old black engine was chugging down the shiny steel tracks, unaware of the sleeping baby raccoon. Back at the Critter County nursery, all of the other animals had gone to sleep. All except Cal, that is. I am so worried about Rascal. He was thinking as all of the parents came in the door. Rascal's parents were on their way to check on Rascal when Cal moved out of bed. You've got to go find Rascal. He disobeyed you and went outside. He has gone for a long time, shouted Cal. You stay here and I will go find him, said the daddy raccoon to his wife. All the other parents came up and put their paws around her. Now don't worry about a thing, said Mrs. Skunk. That little fellow will be just fine. The daddy raccoon walked as fast as he could through the black night. He followed his son's footprints and was getting closer to the railroad tracks. But the train was getting closer to Rascal, closer and closer to Rascal. Rascal, Rascal, yelled the daddy raccoon. Where are you? On and on he walked. While he was walking, the train was racing faster and faster towards the sleeping baby. Rascal, where are you? The daddy yelled. This time, Rascal heard his dad's voice, and he began to slowly wake up and rub his eyes. But would it be too late? The train was in sight. Daddy, Daddy, I'm over here. Please come and get me, cried Rascal. The daddy raccoon started towards the sound of his son's voice. I'm coming, he called. Just then he saw his boy resting on the railroad tracks, and the train was coming. Rascal, get up and come to me. Right now, screamed the daddy. Rascal jumped up and ran to his father. He jumped into his father's arms. Why did you scream at me that way? He asked. Turn around and look, son, said the dad. Both of them stood and watched as the train roared past. Your disobedience got you into this mess, but your obedience saved your life, said Rascal's dad. Oh, Dad, I'm so sorry I disobeyed you. Will you please forgive me? Begged Rascal. Yes, son, of course I will. I know you've learned what can happen if you disobey and how I can take care of you when you obey. All right. Isn't that such a cool story about how important it is to obey your parents and listen to them? And yeah, Rascal's disobedience got him into trouble, but his obedience to his dad also helped save his life. So think about that next time your parents tell you to do something and you're like, I don't want to do this. They know a lot more than you do. All right. Have a great night, and hopefully you enjoyed the story.